Everyone, this is Nina with Walla Stamping, and this is the project that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Isn't it so cute? It is a paper bag that I created with our designer series paper. I cannot remember the name of this one off the top of my head, but I'll have it on the screen for you so that if this paper is something you're interested in making yours with, you'll know what it's called. And then I used the Dazzling Diamond glimmer paper to punch out a couple of snowflakes, and I did that with the Snow Flurry punch. Then I used some Whisper White and some cherry cobbler and the lots of labels tags to create that tag topper, and then our gold binder clips to hold it into place. And I just used cherry cobbler baker's twine through those snowflakes. So let me set this aside and we will get started on the one I'm going to make today. I'm having a hard time deciding if I want to have the cute little gingerbread houses on the outside of the bag or the little candies on the outside of the bag, but I'm leaning toward the gingerbread houses. So this is the Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper, and it's 12 inches wide by 8 inches tall. Then this is a piece of Whisper White, which will be used to make the tag with. This is 5.5 by 3.5, and then a piece of cherry cobbler. Actually, this should be real red. I'll change that out. The cherry cobbler is fine, but this is real red in here, so I'll change that to real red instead of the, well, actually I think the cherry cobbler would be fine. I think I'm just going to stick with the cherry cobbler. That way I don't have to cut another piece. But anyways, this piece is cut to 5 by 3. You're also going to need a piece of Dazzling Diamonds. This piece is just a scrap that I had left over from something else, and it's 3.5 by about 2 3/8. So something around that size will work fine. It doesn't even necessarily have to be that big. And that's going to be to cut the snowflakes out. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how to create a paper bag with designer series paper. So the first thing that you're going to do is, I know that my paper is 12 inches long, and Stampin' Up has this pad of paper that has rulers on it, and at the top it has a 0 mark. So if I line my left side and my right side up on the 6-inch mark, the 0 in the middle tells me where the center of my paper is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take an ink pen and I'm going to make just a small little speck of a dot right there. Then I'm going to turn my paper upside down, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to make a teensy-nincy little dot right there so that I know where the center is. As a matter of fact, I really did that backwards. I should have done it on the inside, not the outside. So let me do that again. So put a little dot right there, flip my paper around, and do a little dot right there. And the reason for that is because I'm going to be working on this side of the paper when I start out. So what you want to do is get your center point marked across the 12-inch side, which would be 6 inches. Then I'm going to take the left side and I'm going to find that little center point dot right there, and I'm going to push my paper past it to the right about maybe around 1/4 of an inch, and then press that down, which I'm going to use my bone folder to get my creases nice and sharp. Then take the other side of your paper, and I use this also, my grid. I line my paper up, and then I use this little line here to know where to put my other sheet or my other side of my paper, and I just fold that over about 1/4 of an inch. So if you don't have a piece of graph paper to help you visually, just remember to fold your first piece over that little center point that you made about 1/4 of an inch, and then fold your second sheet over your first sheet approximately 1/4 of an inch. Now, like a big goof, I have let myself run out of fast fuse. I thought that I had one more refill left, and I didn't. So I'm going to use some tearing tape, which is comparable to fast fuse. It's a very strong dry adhesive, and I'll just have to use this until my fast fuse comes in. So let's put a strip of adhesive right there, right along the edge of that piece of paper. Then we're going to fold that second sheet back over the top of it, just like that. Then the next thing I'm going to do is about 1.5 inches. I'm going to fold up the bottom, just like that. I'm going to crease it really good. Then the next step is you'll want to open this back up, just like that. This flap you're going to leave up, and this flap you're going to bring down. So it kind of looks like a fish mouth in a way. So then I'm going to stick my finger into this corner point right there and push that out. And this score line that's right here, you want to line up with this fold right here. Then we're going to press those lines down, and you can see you're going to have a little triangular shape right here. We're going to follow that on this side as well. So line up that little score line that I have with this folded edge, and you'll have a triangle on this side also. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do is this top piece you're going to fold over, and you're going to bring it down probably about 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch past this folded edge right here. Okay, get that done, and then the bottom piece fold up over the edge of this piece of paper approximately 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. And you can adjust the sizes of all of these folds depending on how thick you want your bag. This one, as you can see, I made it fairly narrow, but if you adjust how deep you make all of your folds, you could make your bag wider if you want to, but then of course it's going to be more narrow. So just keep that in mind when you make your bag, okay? So at this point we want to add a little more adhesive. So I'm going to open these back up, and I'm going to put some adhesive right here on this corner and on this corner, okay? Then I'm going to run some adhesive right there across this edge, and then right through here. Okay. So you do not want to put any adhesive right there, because if you do, when you fold it over, it's going to stick to the inside of your bag, and you do not want that. And a little tip that I would like to give you, if you have tearing tape and you use that for any project, if you'll take your bone folder and just run across it like that and press it down, it'll be easier for you to pull the backing off of that tape. And I always use some tweezers or the tips of my scissors or something like that, because first of all I want to save my manicure, and secondly it's just quicker and easier in my opinion. So then you've got your adhesive on there. You're going to fold this first piece, the top piece, down and adhere it, and then fold this bottom part up and adhere that. And as you can see, I did not control my tearing tape, and I came down past the corner right here that I should have. So I have a little bit of adhesive sticking out. I should have paid closer attention to that. So when you're making yours, don't come past, if I could tear that open I'd show you, but just keep your adhesive along this little short angled piece right there, and when you see your folded score line right there, cut it off there. Otherwise you'll have a little bit sticking out like I do. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to turn my bag this way, and I'm going to fold this side of the paper over just like this, and I'm going to bring this angled piece over and kind of line it up with that angled piece. And then I just make sure that the rest of my paper is folded at approximately the same depth as this. So this is about 1/2 inch. So I just make sure that it's 1/2 inch all the way down. Flip it over to the other side and do the same thing again. And like I was saying, if you want your bag to be wider, to get something larger in, then you're going to want to adjust where you make your folds from the beginning all the way through the end. And guys, normally when I do a project for you, I have a typed out descriptive instruction sheet. This one, I don't feel like that I can do that in a way that it's going to make sense because of all the folds and everything you have to do. So I will have a supply list and all the measurements of everything, but in order to make this, I would suggest that you refer back to the video. All right, so now we've got all those folded. We're going to open that back up and open this back up, and this is where we turn it into our bag. Stick your hand down inside there and push that bottom down, and then you're going to have to do a little bit of manipulating the paper over here. Flatten those score lines out so then you just have a flat surface just like that. Okay, then I always give this little bottom part just a little pinch to make that corner sharp. Then the score line that's going down through the center of the bag, you want to push that in just like this. And this designer series paper is really thick, so you do have to work with it a little bit, but it makes an absolutely fantastic little gift bag. So then we'll turn it over and repeat that process on this side. Give that little pinch at the bottom. Flatten out this surface and then fold that center score line to the inside of the bag. Okay, so now your bag is made. It is ready for you to put some treats or whatever kind of present. You know, this would be a great size gift for like a pair of the thin socks like women would wear with boots or something. I know that sometimes they make those really thick, but sometimes you can buy really thin socks to wear inside of boots or even inside of shoes. So socks or even some fancy little undergarments would be a sweet thing to put in there. Okay, so I'm going to get my Big Shot and show you how I made the tag. For the tag, I used the Lots of Labels framelits, and I used the largest and the next to largest to cut these out. So I'm going to do the largest first, which is the Whisper White. Let me grab that piece of paper, and I've got a magnetic platform on here and one of the acrylic plates. Put the paper down, put my die on top of it and my second acrylic plate, and then just run that right through. So I've got that one cut out. I'm going to put this one back, and now I'm going to grab the next to largest framelit and do the same step with my cherry cobbler. And like I said, I love the cherry cobbler because I like a rich red like this. I feel like the cherry cobbler or the real red, either one would be fine to use with this designer series paper. So it's totally up to you. So we have the two tags cut out, and what I'm going to do is, you can use your scoreboard if you want to, but I am just going to fold these in half myself. Just going to line up these edges, fold that in half, and use my bone folder and press down that fold line just like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the Whisper White. Get all of these edges lined up, give it a little pinch, and then sharpen up that fold with my bone folder. Then I'm going to open this back up, and I'm going to stamp this before I put these together. So I'm just using my basic black archival ink, and I'm using the 10 of Tags stamp set, and the one that I've decided to use on this is the Go Ahead Tear It Open. I think this is such a cute stamp set. So let's go ahead and get this stamped. And what I do here is I just stamp it approximately in the center between where that fold line is and where these two little edges are here. Okay, that looks fine. It could be a little bit darker, but it's not bad, so I'm going to go with it. And y'all, I've got to show you something that I recently purchased, and I am loving it, loving it, loving it. I had been using just some baby wipes to clean my stamps with, and it was doing okay, but not great. So I bought this Stampin', what is it called? Stampin' Scrub. Does such an awesome job of cleaning your stamps. You spray the Stampin' Mist on this side and get it cleaned off, and then the other side is to dry your stamp. And then I even use it to clean my blocks with too, because I end up sometimes getting a little bit of adhesive or fingerprints on there. It works fantabulously. So anyways, just wanted to let you know about that because I'm so excited about it. And again, I would probably normally use Fast Fuse here, but because I did let myself run out, then I'm going to use my tearing tape. And it's great tape. I mean, I don't have anything against it at all. It holds really well, but Fast Fuse would just be a little bit quicker. Let's take these pieces off the back. Y'all, I live in Tennessee, and it is absolutely freezing here this morning. I put my little sweet sugar dog outside to go to the bathroom. It was so funny. She was not out for long. She came back in, and all her hair was standing up. I guess she had goosebumps. It was quite funny. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to visually line this up so that my borders around are even. Then I'm going to make sure that my score line on the cherry cobbler and the score line on the Whisper White match up on this side. And then, oops, I let it stick down too quick right there. Match it up. Oh, well, okay, wait a minute. Let's undo that a little bit. And I think I might be tearing my paper slightly. Then I'm going to line it up on this side and get that stuck down. Just use my bone folder to make sure it's in place. And you could always stick them together first and then fold them over, but sometimes when you're using two pieces of cardstock together like that, if you're not gentle enough with it, you might crack the top piece of paper. So you can do it either way. If you want to stick them together first and then make your fold, it's fine to do it that way. Just be easy with it so that you don't crack your paper by being too forceful with it. Okay, so there's that part made. Now let's make our snowflakes. So there's my Dazzling Diamonds, and this is the Snow Flurry Punch, and I just punched out one of each size snowflake. So there's the large one and the small. All right, someone came to my door, so I had to go away for a moment. Not quite sure where I left off, but I'm back. Alrighty, so I am going to punch holes in the top of my snowflakes now, and I just have a small 1/16 of an inch punch, and I'm going to punch the hole right, let me get in shot, right there in the end of that little snowflake. And I'm going to do that on both of them. Okay. Oops, that one, I kind of got out of whack with it. It's okay though. Then I'm going to use the Cherry Cobbler Baker's Twine from the Baker's Twine Trio Pack. I'm just going to snip a couple of pieces here. I'm not going to really worry about how long they are. Probably they're, yeah, I got pieces that are about 7 inches long, and then I'll be cutting them down a little bit. So I have had a subscriber mention to me an easier way to get my baker's twine through this hole, and I had not even thought of it. I have knitted and crocheted for years, and so she made mention of a hook, and I thought, well, I've got a little bitty crochet hook that will be perfect. So thanks to her, I now can get my baker's twine through this little bitty 1/16 of an inch hole, just like that. Magical, huh? So anyway, pull that through, and I'm going to do what is called a surgeon's knot, where you wrap your twine around twice before you tie it into the knot. And I'm sure that this is a stitch, probably if you're a cross stitcher and somebody that does embroidery or whatever, this probably has another name, but that's what I know it as, is the surgeon's knot. Then I can have that little red dot right there in the top of that snowflake, and the little knot holds it from going through the hole, and it's threaded through the back. So let's do that again. And stick my little bitty crochet hook through here. Grab my baker's twine in that hook and pull it through that hole. So there we go. That is so much easier than what I was doing before. And I probably should just buy an 1/8 of an inch punch, but I have this 1/16 of an inch, and I like it because the hole is so small. I like it for using the baker's twine with, but like I said, you have to finagle with it a little bit to get the baker's twine through that small of a hole. So there's our 2 snowflakes. Here is, where did I put it? Here is our bag. Let me move some things out of the way. It's getting a little claustrophobic over here. All right. So what I did then was I just folded my bag in, put my little topper on, took my smaller snowflake, and I just wrapped this little snowflake right around the top like that with the baker's twine. Get the second snowflake in place just like this. Then take one of the clips, which I should have gotten out before I did that. Well, stuck together. Okay, so let's do this back like I had it. Put that over the top, pull that little one down a little bit. Get this all lined up nice and neat. Then I just use my baker's clip right here on the corner, and it holds my little snowflakes in place. And that is it, guys. This is really a very quick and easy bag to make. The first time you make one, you might feel a little bit confused, because the very first time that I did one, I was apprehensive about all the folding. But if you'll just take it one step at a time and watch the video and go through it as you watch the video, after you make one, you'll be able to do them again without even watching the video. So I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial today, and that you would please subscribe to my channel. I have been a demonstrator since September this year, and my goal right now is I would like to have 3,000 subscribers by the middle of 2017. That is a very large goal, and I'm pretty far away from it. So I would be thrilled if you would subscribe to my channel and help me reach my goal of 3,000 subscribers. So if you're interested in making these products or interested in making these bags and need any of the products, there will be a link below the video that you can click on that will take you directly to my online store. And also, if you'll go over to my website, there's a link below for you to click on to get there. It's wallastamping.com. I will have a supply list as well as the measurements for cutting out everything, and I'll also have a link back to the video for you to watch how to make all of your folds. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.